Time now for the Mark Kotsay Show, brought to you by Folsom Lake Ford. Kotz, how are you on a Friday here at the ballpark in West Sacramento?
I'm definitely not doing as well as you, Chris, right?
And why would that be?
I mean, there may have been a hole-in-one made yesterday, folks. Chris Townsend, San Jose Country Club, hole 7. I get a picture of a scorecard yesterday.
Did you really?
With a 1. And I'm like, I knew it wasn't our GM. I knew it wasn't David Forst. There's no way that he would have had the skill set to put it in the hole from the tee box. But all I heard was this high draw, beautiful shot, hit, spun, bottom of the cup.
Next thing you know, they're bringing champagne out, taking pictures.
Taking the flag down.
Take the flag down. I mean, it was a magical moment.
All I want to know is how much did you actually spend at the bar after the round?
I have not seen my account yet, but I was getting pictures of people getting drinks on me as I was driving back here to Sacramento yesterday. People were at the bar getting,
as they should have been, celebrating you.
Yeah,
we're still celebrating you. This is a great day.
How are you?
I told you, I'm just.
What did you do on the day off? Did you get a hole-in-one or do anything special?
No, a lot special. Obviously, when you get to go home and spend time with your 3 kids that have been out, 2 of them have been out of the house. One's a senior, but both the
almost
college
back
kids
to school
were back
time,
home.
right?
Yeah, so we got to take a walk through the lagoon down to Solana Beach. To see my niece. We spent about a half hour at the park. It was just family time yesterday.
Yeah, my kids go back on Sunday, so it's interesting. School time is here. I love what you've been doing with the lineup lately. I mean, I mentioned Kurtz before leading off. People thought I was crazy. You first did it with Shea Langeliers. He rewarded you. He's back at the top of the lineup again today. Just talk about changing things a little bit with the lineup.
Well, I think, obviously we know if Lawrence Butler is performing at the level he did last year, getting on base consistently, and really having the confidence that we need him to have, he's the leadoff hitter that gets us going. I mean, you can tell when the club goes like Lawrence at the top, setting the tone, having that energy, is where ultimately we would love to be. But over the last month and a half, 2 months, Law's been up and down. And I just thought it was a good time to kind of switch it up, get some guys that are really swinging the bats well up there as many times as possible. And Shea obviously has been swinging it really well for quite some time, and I like his presence in the leadoff spot right now.
Since the All-Star break, there aren't too many guys hotter than him. I mean, the 12 home runs, but really the way he's barreled it up. You look at the batting average, over 400. We get how physically talented he is. This is a mental game. What really switched for him? When we talk about the light is turned on, what is that for him?
Well, I just think that the more, consistent he's been with the mechanics of the swing, the adjustments he's made over the last 2 seasons, you've seen the strikeout rate decrease. You've seen the barrel percentage rate increase. Those are all signs of just a slight little mechanic adjustment that he started last year. And I just think that it's just built more and more confidence as he continues to see the success of it.
And he runs better than most catchers. It's amazing how fast he is.
He does. And, obviously we're not built to steal bases and play small ball. We're kind of built to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And so, yeah, it's nice to have a guy with that type of threat at the top of the lineup from the first pitch, and behind him, you run into Rook, you run into Kurtz, and others. So
when you talk about that confidence, like for Lawrence Butler, how do you help a guy get that confidence back?
Well, I mean, success, obviously, right? Like, I think, day before yesterday in the game, he hit a ball out to left center. Like, that's a great sign for Lawrence. When Lawrence is hitting the ball with authority the other way, a lot of things line up for him. And I think, leaving him in that 6-7 area where there's not this pressure from your first at bat to go out, get on base, set the tone, and just be a part of a lineup. I mean, that helps guys, I think, just get their confidence back and have an at bat that, they can just go up and focus on seeing the baseball and not worrying about a result.
When you talk about dealing with certain players, and I'm not just talking about Lawrence, but any player, some guys need to, you got to put your arm around them. Some guys you got to kick in the butt a little bit. Like, how much do you look at that and how much you do it, how much love, how much butt kicking you need to do? Take us through that process.
Well, I think it varies. I mean, yes, it's individual. Each guy has their own ways of being motivated. And I think there's, a change in culture. And we've all seen it and we all know it, that the younger guys don't necessarily respond to the heavy hand.
A little different than Jim Leyland and the Marlins when you came up?
Yeah, I think the Jim Leyland stories that I have, I mean, my best ever Jim Leyland story was my rookie year in August of 1998. We were a bunch of young kids getting our tails kicked by the Houston Astros in the Astrodome. Jim came in after a game. I think it was our third straight loss. And he had a team meeting. But before the team meeting, when he came into the room, the spread was all in the middle of the locker room. Spread meaning post-game meal.
Yeah.
And he ended up flipping the spread over. So there was no meal. And he wanted to make sure that we got out of the clubhouse as fast as possible. And he told us if we didn't get out of the clubhouse in 5 minutes, he was going to have us arrested for impersonating big leaguers. It was one of the best undressings I've ever heard. It was so classic Jim. And then the next day he'd come up to you and you go, hey, you like that, right? That was a good one yesterday. Right? So, yeah, we can't do that anymore. I can't go into the locker room in there and flip over Kai's beautiful spread in there.
Well, yeah, it's a full kitchen in there. I don't even know how you would do that.
Well, the kitchen's upstairs, the locker room's downstairs. So, yeah, there's no food downstairs.
I would love to see it do that, though.
Yeah.
Can we if you ever do that, can we sneak in just to watch it?
Yeah, that's like,
it would
have to be a road clubhouse most likely. But, yeah, Jim Leyland,
When you'd have to make sure Leyland didn't get his ashes on your shoes.
I remember going to the bat rack my rookie year in Florida. The bat rack was right next to the end of the bench, and that was the corner that he knew he could smoke in because the TV camera down the left field line, the gentleman that operated it knew not to pan in at him in the dugout, right?
Yeah.
So he would sit there in the corner and smoke, but he'd blow the smoke right into the bat rack, and he'd go get your bat. You'd just be like trying to dodge the smoke. It's so classic.
One thing we're going to talk about today and over the weekend is these last 39 games, finding pitching depth, because we know next year, we really like what we see with Severino and Springs and Lopez. It's like to find other guys. How big is that right now to find guys, pitching depth, guys that going into the offseason that you think will be able to help you in the rotation next year?
Yeah, I mean, 39 games sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's going to go really quick. I think, the young pitching that we have in the starting rotation right now, you got JT Ginn, you got Jack Perkins, you got Luis Morales. Even Jacob Lopez. Jacob's had more starts, I think, consistently this season than the other three, obviously. But finding out, if Morales can handle the starting role, watching JT Ginn and seeing if we can make progress with JT. All these things are really important for coming out of the gate next year and going into spring training with like you said, an assessment of the pitching depth. And we want to focus on that, but we also, at the same point, we want to win as many games as possible down the stretch.
No doubt, and it's just a reality that teams are using on average anywhere between 12 to 13 different starting pitchers in a season. So it is important to find guys who you think could be a part of the answer going into the future.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's important here at the big league level. It's equally as important to watch guys like Gage Jump and there's a couple other kids down in AAA. The Morris kid is a right-handed starter. I mean, obviously Joey Estes was a big leaguer. Joey Estes has got a ton of time, a ton of starts in the big leagues. See how his AAA season wraps up. So there's always a constant evaluation going on and a constant, desire to acquire more pitching and obviously, the pitching that we have, the young pitching we have, to develop them.
How important is it to get some of the hurt guys back and get them some at-bats for the end of the year when you think of Jacob Wilson and Max Muncy and some of the players that have been on the IL?
Yeah, it's really important. I think for any player on the IL right now, the goal is to get on the field before the season ends, and that really helps the confidence going into spring training, I think. So for Jacob, for Denzel, for Muntz, those three guys really, you want them to be back on this field at least for a period of time before we end the season.
Would you say Denzel, who's I believe going to start playing tonight, is the closest?
Yeah, I mean he is starting his rehab assignment tonight, so he is the closest. There's a hope that Jacob gets out at some point, maybe next week, or possibly sooner, but probably next week. And Muncie's a little bit further behind than those two.
Do you want me to come by the office and kind of take you through the whole hole-in-one about what I was thinking and take you through the whole process, the wind, and just let you really know everything that happened?
I think you just swung the club and then got lucky and it went in the hole.
The Mark Kotsay Show, brought to you by Folsom Lake Ford.